Hey guys, what is up and welcome to day 3 of Booktember. Today, as you guys can tell from the title of today's video, I'm going to be sitting down and giving you my autumn slash fall slash September, October, November TBR. This is going to be quite lengthy because, as you guys know, I do seasonal TBRs, not necessarily like monthly TBRs. I will occasionally do a read-along TBR, but today I just want to talk to you about the books that I plan to read in the crisp, cool, slightly spooky autumn months. So I'm going to go ahead and just get started. So the first book I want to talk about is actually a book that was sent to me by one of my very best friends, Sam, and I don't really know what it's about, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. We all have this friend that if they recommend a book, they send you a book, whatever it may be, you're going to read it and you know you're going to love it based on their review, and that would be The Tiger's Daughter. This is a book that she actually sent to me when I was feeling very down, and I kind of wish I would have read it then because I feel like it would have a little bit more of Sam to it, but I know she absolutely loved this book and I cannot wait to read it. I know it kind of takes place within a city or like a community who doesn't necessarily care or believe in the demons that they are supposed to be carrying and believing in, and one day the demons actually start breaking down their fortifications. I believe there's a female-female love story in this. Pretty sure. Could be totally wrong. I'll let you know on the screen somewhere if I'm wrong. Editing Jess, please let them know. But I'm really excited to read this. It just sounds like something I'm 100% going to love just because Sam loved it. Like, I have those friends, you guys. I have friends who have excellent taste in books, and I 1000% trust them. Now, the next book I have here is actually the second book in this series, and I am so excited. It is Bloody Rose by Nicholas Eames. This is the book that follows Kings of the Wild. I am so in love with the characters in these books. I'm so in love with the world. I'm so in love with like the pop culture references that are kind of thrown in there and the music vibe that you get from everything. I just think this is a beautifully written series. I cannot wait to read this, but I can kind of also wait to read it because Sam said that she cried like 1,000,000 times, and I don't know if my heart is ready for that, but I just cannot wait to read this. It's just so cool. This actually follows the daughter of one of the main characters from the first book, and I have, as of filming this, not finished Kings of the Wild, so I don't really know where that leaves off and where this one starts. But this is Rose. This is the daughter to one of the main characters from the first one. It is actually the girl that they are sent to rescue. So glad to know she lives. Clearly she lives, but I don't know if anyone else dies. So I'm still not ready to finish that book, but this is the book that I think I am most looking forward to. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Now the next book is a book I need to get around to reading because I absolutely love Kirsten Wright, and that would be The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein. You guys have heard me speak about this. This is essentially just a retelling of Frankenstein, but obviously the main character is female. I don't know much despite that, but I do know that Kirsten does amazing retelling. She's one of my very favorite retelling authors. I think she does such a good job, and I cannot wait to get around to this. Now the next book I have here is actually a book that my husband is demanding that I am reading, and that'd be Spellsinger by Sebastian de Castell. This is a book that I know nothing about, like absolutely nothing other than there is magic, which there'd have to be for my husband to enjoy it. But I know a few people who've read this. I believe Jade has read this, and I think she really liked it. AJ from the Book Breakdown recently read it, and he really liked it. My husband gorged himself on it, and he just recently got the second one. This was a UK exclusive book, but actually Orbit picked up the rights to it, so they are releasing the novels here in America as well. So the second one did just come out with these covers, but I'm excited. My husband loves it. I'm probably gonna love it, so I cannot wait to read it. The next book that I want to talk about is obviously my best friend's Exorcism. This follows our two main characters, Abby and Gretchen, and one night they are out skinny dipping when one of them is injured, and her friend starts acting a little bit strange. Now, that's all I know about this book. I've tried to avoid spoilers. I'm sorry if I don't give good enough synopsis on books, but there's always Goodreads if you guys want more information. I just try to avoid as many spoilers as possible. I go off of reviews of people that I trust, and most of the people that I know that have read this thought it was really funny and kind of campy, but also like a really cheesy old school horror movie, and it just sounds like something I'm gonna love. Also, look at the freaking cover. Are you kidding me? This is so aesthetic goals. Now, the next book that I have here is actually a book that was sent to me from Orbit, and I actually misplaced it, and I am so excited to have it again. It honestly, you guys, just got lost on my bookshelves. Like, does anyone else have that? You just like skim over your bookshelf and you just can't find that one book, and it's been there the entire time. You just kept overlooking it. That is this book. It'd be Adrift by Rob Boffard. This is a book about a spaceship that kind of does like intergalactic tours essentially, and their station that they are from, like while they're, there's a station and then they leave it to go do the tour. The station that they left is actually attacked and destroyed while they are gone, and the ship that does that actually starts following them through space. And I really love space novels. I'm really into sci-fi right now. You guys already know. And I cannot wait to read this. Honestly, it just sounds super cool. It sounds like something I'm really going to like. And I really like kind of like space chases as well, which I think is why I'm really excited about this. I really like Firefly, and it kind of gives me Firefly vibes. All right. The next book that I have here is actually a book that Sam once again sent me, and that'd be The Wicked by James Newman. I am so excited to read this. Everyone I know that's read it has loved it. Can you sense a theme here? This actually follows a small, like a family that moves to a small town, but there's actually like a portal to hell that they live on top of, and it sounds really cool because it sounds like the devil or the wicked is actually coming up to actually steal their children. And I don't know, it just sounds really cool to me. I don't know, it just sounds like the perfect fall read. I'll probably try to read this closer to October, closer to like the extra spooky times of the year, but this is a book I've been wanting to read for a really long time. I've just been so sucked into like contemporary and lighthearted reads over the summer that I'm really excited to finally have like the spooky, dark, twisted kind of stuff. And I'm sorry, but a demon who lives beneath the town and wants to eat children, pretty high on the list of fall reads. All right, the next book I have here is by an author that I actually really like the writing of, and I don't know why I haven't picked up anything else by her, but it'd be Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. This book is actually about a crime writer, not a writer, but like a reporter, I believe, who goes to a mental health facility and ends up staying there for a while following, I'm assuming, some kind of breakdown. And then she is asked to come back to her small town that she used to live in to report on the death and murders of 2 young teen girls. And the reason why this sounds really cool is I think it's a really good fall read because it's kind of thriller, slightly spooky, like murder kind of stuff going on, but also her mother is like completely neurotic. They have a really poor relationship, and it just sounds really cool. It sounds like a book that I'm really going to like because I do have a slightly neurotic birth mom who I don't talk to. So I kind of identify with this, and I really want to read it. I think that Gillian does a really good job of writing unlikable characters, and I'm hoping that there are enjoyable but unlikable characters in this book in the form of her mother. All right, I'm not going to linger too long on this novel. You guys have heard me speak about this. This would be Low. This is a comic book. This follows the world essentially left in disrepair, and people are forced to flee to the oceans essentially to live underneath them. That's all I know. That's all I want to know. I've heard mixed reviews on this, so I'm trying to go into it as blind as possible. I also adore the art style. I don't know what it is about this kind of art style, but I think it's kind of rough but also beautiful at the same time, and I know a few people who've absolutely loved this and whose reviews I trust, so I think I'm gonna like it, but I'll update you guys at the end of the season. Now this next book I have here, I don't know a whole lot about this other than it takes place in like an alternate Brooklyn. This is a book that Jade has actually recommended a few times to people, and I'm trying to not know a whole lot about it other than the main character, I guess, has relationships with people, but they're really strained relationships, and that'd be Vassa in the Night. I know there's also like an animal companion in this as well. What is on my book? Ew, it's sticky. Something on my book. But I really like animal companions. I like dark novels. She said that this novel was kind of dark and kind of like atmospheric, which is what I really like in books, so I think I'm really gonna like this. But I'm purely going off of Jade's recommendation for this, as well as I've had it on my shelves for a very long time, so I think it's time that I just need to finally sit down and read it, and I think that autumn is a really good time for that. And the last monster of a book I have here will come as no shock to anybody, but it'd be Sleeping Beauties by Stephen King, and I'm just gonna say Stephen King. I'm so nervous to read this because Owen wrote it with him, and I've heard negative things about it because of that, and it makes me very, very nervous. But honestly, I just love him so much, and I think that his sons are probably good authors. I've just never read anything by Owen. I own a few of Joe's books, but it's just, I'm nervous, but we'll see. I don't know how they blend, but I need to get around to this. I've had this for almost a year. It's been out for forever. It's time. It's just time for me to sit down. This essentially follows women, if you guys are not familiar, who cocoon themselves when they sleep at night, and if they are interrupted when they are sleeping, like kind of like moths, they actually become like ravenous and start killing people, and no one in the town knows kind of why this is going on. So I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna see what I think. I'm actually going to get around to it this autumn, I promise. Mark my words. I'm not lying. I'm finally gonna freaking read this book. All right, I don't know how I managed to do that in 10 and a half minutes. I probably just ran through it as quickly as possible. I hope you guys are able to follow along, but those are the books that I want to read this autumn. Those are the books that I am the most excited about, ones that I've either had on my TBR for a really long time, ones that I feel like really fit the mood of the season, but either way, I am so pumped for all of these. Let me know down below if you're reading any of these. Maybe we can buddy read a few of them, but I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and think about subscribing. I am so excited to be doing Booktember. I'm honestly loving it. I hope you guys are liking it so far too. This is what, day 3, a whole 3 days. But either way, I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!